Welcome to the Gear Slum, your one-stop shop for all things guitar culture nonsense. I'm Aaron.
I'm Phil.
And I'm Cole.
We slum it hard so you don't have to. I want everyone out there to know that we take this very seriously. I know we joke around a lot, and sometimes we just don't put out episodes. But that's just a front. That's just projection that we do. This means a lot to us, and
That's like when you pretend you don't care about someone when you have a crush on them.
yeah, it's like a defense mechanism.
Yeah.
It's like if we don't put an episode out this week, no one can tell us how. No one can ignore
if it
our
fails,
yeah.
If it fails, then it's like, well, we didn't actually put everything into it.
Yeah.
If we had tried our hardest, it wouldn't have failed, you know.
Ironically, by not trying, you cause things to fail. Oh man.
Ooh.
It's like I'm not gonna put my all into this marriage because then, like, what if we get divorced? I'll feel bad.
Yeah,
So I'm gonna.
it's like, well,
and then
that's
it's
why
like
you got
self-fulfilling prophecy. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy.
I was wondering what voice you were doing there.
Self-fulfilling prophecy. I don't know. It's not any kind of real.
Is it the
voice.
lady from Monsters Inc.?
Oh, Roz. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Mike Wazowski.
Mike Wazowski. Steve?
Oh man, that's good stuff. See, this is not the kind of stuff that you get from every other podcast because we.
No, you don't get this from
We're not just
from the Back to the Beach podcast.
You don't
with,
get this from
Steven.
Is it real?
Is it real? Steven and Lauren. You don't get this from
No. Oh, Steven and Kristen.
Kristen. You don't get this from Joe Rogan.
Lauren doesn't podcast.
You don't get this from what?
Lauren doesn't podcast. Does not
You're
podcast.
Correct.
You don't get this from This American Life. They're not talking about what were we talking about? They're not doing Monsters Inc. impressions. It's real topical.
They're not talking about what are we talking about?
Up to date. Yeah. I just got into listing podcasts.
They're not talking about what are we talking
Oh man.
I listened to
Coach.
This American Life for the first time in like 6 years, and it was because I had to go back and find the episode where they're like in the writer's room for The Onion. And they're deciding which headlines get made or whatever. And it's basically just like they just pitch them over and over, and if nobody laughs, it doesn't get made.
Yeah.
But that's where
That's
that
a-
famous
a
line
good
that
formula.
nothing ever came of it. And the only reason anyone knows about it is because of that podcast. But somebody pitched the headline, "Gay Retard Teased." And it's like the most brutal headline ever.
Jeez.
Holy crap.
It took me a minute to
Wait.
even like figure
Yeah,
out what you
wait.
were
Yeah,
saying.
because like the context, you're not thinking in
Yeah.
like headline language, but
yeah.
gosh.
Wait. So in the episode, they mentioned this as something that did not get a laugh.
No, they don't mention. They're like actually in the room as people are pitching these headlines.
Right.
Like live.
So they're recording it live.
Live to
And that's
tape.
the on. So, and they don't even really follow up on it. They just, you just hear this guy pitch that headline, and somebody says like, "Oh, that's terrible," you know, like they laugh, but kind
Yeah.
of the same reaction you guys had. But then if you Google "gay retard teased," it like, you know, you'll find people referencing it and stuff like that.
You don't find an actual
No, because they never
Onion
like they
article.
didn't.
You
they
find
didn't make
them
it. Yeah.
referencing This American Life. Okay, gotcha.
Because it's one of those that like, well, I mean, it would work as just because they would put out just headlines by themselves, right? With no other, with like a picture or something.
Yeah.
But there's no like, good luck finding a picture to go along with that headline that's not going to be horribly offensive, So like, but yeah, if you, anyways, but the whole process is pretty fascinating. And it's interesting to go back because like the Onion now is old,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, so you guys should look up the Onion. It's a newspaper.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure they still do a print version of it, right? Like
Dude, it's a
that would be the ultimate like joke if they just went to
Dude.
only print.
You couldn't even get it online.
Not online anymore.
That'd be awesome. And they're like really litigious for anyone who like posts
Right,
it
yeah.
online,
Yeah. Oh, that would be
amazing.
great. That'd be really good.
I mean, it would have to have like some wealthy person behind it because it would not make any money, but it would be pretty great.
Yeah. Of course. Money. Da.
So my son had a hockey game last night, Saturday night, in a town that's like 45 minutes away. Well, it was in Park City. You guys probably have heard of Park City, right?
Yeah.
That's where the Sundance Film Festival is. So they're going up to play all these freaking rich kids, And game didn't start till 10 o'clock at night. We get there, and there's a kid like unconscious on the ice under a blanket, and they're waiting for the ambulance to show up. So someone in the previous game. So that was an interesting night. So not only did our game start late, but there was like this whole, it was like a pretty depressing vibe in the arena, Apparently the kid like wasn't paralyzed or anything, but it was pretty gnarly evening.
Yeah.
For all these high school kids.
So wait. So if I'm unconscious on the ice, somebody puts a blanket on me. I
know
like
it's a weird. It like is keeping in the cold, right? It's like a weird.
Well, my body is producing heat, but I'm laying literally on a bed of cold,
on a slab of ice.
Yeah, but it's like when people. It's like an igloo, basically. You're like in a little igloo.
Yeah, it's like keeping your heat in. And apparently, well, I don't even think she was unconscious. I think she was like, it was just very. Anytime there's like head injuries nowadays, you're very cautious, obviously. But yeah, I had the same thought. I was like, because they can't move her, so it's not like they could, put something under her. Right. But you're like in all your hockey stuff, so it's not like she was going to get cold. But
did you say, get her a body bag?
So it was kind of because we showed up right when we showed up. This guy was like, "Oh, are you here for the next game?" And I said, "Yeah." And he's like, "Oh, well, can you just go over here and tell the team to like not to stay over on this site?" And I thought it was like a COVID thing because they're like, Park City is like a very progressive area or whatever, and I thought they were still like being, kind of crazy about COVID. And then I look out on the ice and see this person laying there. And so I'm like all worried, and as I tried to talk to a couple people to find out what was going wrong, there were some people that were like basically trying to say like, "Oh yeah, she gets injured all the time and she's probably just faking it." And I was like, "Dude, that is
what
you are going to feel pretty bad about saying that if it does not." Yeah. It was yeah, anyways.
It's like at her funeral. Any minute now.
Yeah, she's gonna pop right up.
Pop up. She's really taking the bit to the extreme.
Exactly. Yeah, she's really committed to it.
Oh man! So I had a thought. Well, I was on I think it was either TikTok or Instagram. I think it was Instagram, and you guys remember the band The Juliana Theory? I know we've talked a lot about emo lately, but so I follow the singer Brett, and he posted a picture of himself like back in the day, and he's like before the eyeliner and everything phase of emo, does anyone remember the white belt emo when everyone just wore white belts?
Yes.
Dude.
And then I was like, oh yeah, I think that coincided with the with the greaser disco emo. But it led me, remember that when everyone was like wearing bell bottoms and like greasing their hair back in like in the emo scene.
Yeah.
It made me think of like weird weird like music and style connections. Like there was a time in like the late 90s in like the hardcore scene where where everyone was wearing like Argyle sweater vests. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
All the bands were just wearing like Argyle sweater vests. And
Yeah,
I was
dude.
wondering like what other ones.
Well, and it would even be like a collared shirt underneath it, right?
yeah, or a white t-shirt, either a white
Yeah.
t-shirt or just like a white collared shirt.
Yeah, dude. It's like they're trying to like reappropriate, like, you know,
Yeah. I remember
rich douche culture. Or
it was also really popular for a while for all the like emo and scene hardcore bands to wear like those monk strap shoes where it has like the single strap with the buckle on like a dress shoe.
Oh,
Remember those?
dude,
Like those were super trendy for a while.
I don't remember that being trendy, and that is so weird.
A lot of like hardcore bands, they would wear that like the Argyle sweater and the monk shoes, the monk strap shoes.
Dude,
So weird.
I feel like the styles were changing so quickly, right?
Yeah, and they were probably like pockets. They're probably like, oh, the 5
Yeah.
bands that you like dress like this or whatever.
Well, and when you're defined, like when counterculture becomes popular, you like are constantly having to like shift. Like,
Right,
oh,
you
it's
have
not
to, like,
counterculture
react.
anymore because it's popular
Yeah,
now, you know?
do something different. Yeah.
I always thought it was funny that there was this like very short period of time where it was called girlfriend jeans
Yeah.
that all the bands were wearing. I'm sure we've talked about this before. It's fascinating to me that it was like all of the rock stars started wearing like women's jeans,
Yeah.
but it was only for like one, like it was like a 9-month period before.
Not
like,
skinny jeans, though.
No, you couldn't get
then
like,
they
skinny
started
jeans,
calling them
so-
skinny jeans.
Well, what happened is everyone started wearing them, but you'd have to like buy from the women's section, like in
Right.
order to get the right fit. And then they're like, oh, they want this, so all the brands started like making them for men
Yes.
specifically.
Yes. So then they stopped calling it. I think I don't know. It's funny to me that
Yeah.
that calling it girlfriend jeans or whatever like went in and out of fashion very quickly because
Yeah.
then it was like, no, these are just jeans now. And it's like,
Yeah, they're
well,
just
okay,
jeans now.
they're the
It's a girlfriend
exact same
fit.
cut that
It's almost a way
Right,
of like
right.
softening the idea that you're wearing. It's like, no, I have a girlfriend, first of all, so let's get that out of the way right now. 'Cause I obviously have a girlfriend.
Yeah.
I'm just wearing her jeans. So it's
where
just
else would I
like-
get these?
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm not
Yeah.
wearing girls' jeans. Like it's just my girlfriend's jeans, you know?
Yeah, it's like in the 80s
Yeah.
when all the hair metal bands were like wearing makeup and had big hair and stuff, and then they started making like makeup for men. Remember that?
Yeah. Because it's like, no,
Did
I'm
they?
not
Did
dressing
they?
like a woman.
No, they didn't do that.
Ew.
But that's part of the thing that like makes it countercultural too. Is you're like, yeah, we're like screwing with gender norms also.
Yeah,
Which is
yeah.
Totally.
Which is funny for like how how very like insecure in its masculinity a lot of that scene was at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember going to Express,
Especially in the
and
80s, I
buying
feel like-
women's jeans, and they had like a 3-inch rise, and it's like my penis is gonna fall out of these pants. I can't wear them. But
You
it
mean
never
like
did.
the length of the zipper was like
Yeah, like
It was
because
like
they're like
'cause
low
the hips
rise
were so
jeans
low.
for women.
Yeah.
And it's like
yeah.
their waist is already shorter than mine.
Yeah.
So it's like this is impossible. This is
Yeah.
not gonna work out.
So your butt crack was definitely hanging out.
Yeah. I mean, but you're you kind of sag them. I don't know. It was a weird year.
So
that was in like 2003, probably.
Do you, Aaron? I know you're in this boat because of height, but do you ever feel left out when you see people, like guys or girls, posting like funny videos of them wearing each other's clothes or whatever?
Oh yeah,
Like,
yeah.
oh,
We're
their jeans
very
actually fit
different
me.
sizes, my wife and I.
Yeah. As am I.
Yeah.
From your wife, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I feel left out because I can't wear her
The
clothes.
three of us are all different sizes.
Exactly. And none of us can wear each other's stuff.
none of us could wear your wife's clothes is definitely the case, Aaron.
No, I'm
Yeah.
talking about my wife, myself, and Cole. The three of us.
Yeah.
Not you, Phil. Sorry.
Oh.
But also the four of us. The four of us. You two, me, and my wife are all
Yeah.
different sizes too.
You and Phil are the closest of the four of us.
Yeah, probably
Mm.
height wise.
Mhm.
Phil's like, don't let me in with that fat son.
With that fat piece of garbage.
I wonder if I could
He's
fit
like,
into.
used to be.
I wonder if
before
I could fit into. Does
Press to
does
start doing CrossFit in a field.
Brit? I bet Brittany has some stretchy shorts that I could physically get onto my body.
I mean, I could probably get some of them onto my body, but yeah.
Then you'd
not
never get them off.
Them onto
That's
my body.
that's the trick. Is can
That's
you get
the
them off
trick.
though?
You just cut them. I have scissors. No, I just let my gut out and it pops them. They burst off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Speak
Like Macho Man Randy Savage.
Hey, I have a question. If you
No, hold on. Speaking of things that are hard to
Alright.
get onto my
Okay.
body,
Okay.
I have something cool to show you that I just got. Aaron will appreciate this. Phil probably not. Boom.
Oh, I was like clicking on the wrong thing.
Oh.
Oh, dude, that's tight.
Montreal Expos hat.
Heck yeah, I love it. I almost
and-
bought an Expos hat the other day.
And to prove to you what a fat head I have.
Dude, I wear a size 8.
Oh, you do?
I'm really like a 7 3/4, but I wear an 8 because
Yeah,
I want
dude.
it to
Well,
be
plus the flat brim. Like I bend the
Yeah.
brim on these fitted hats, but when it's like
dude, that is
how
tight.
it comes, it makes it fit looser. You know,
I would wear that.
What's
I'd
the,
wear crap out of that?
that's the Montreal.
What's the
Expos
name of that?
logo.
There's a
It's tight
hat
though, huh?
brand that I've been seeing on TikTok that like
Oh yeah,
has
it's called
snapback
Yeah.
hats for
Mam-
big
Mammoth-
headed
It's like
dudes.
Mammoth
Yeah, but
headwear.
It's called like Sasquatch,
It's
something
mammoth,
like that. Actually,
Mammoth.
Mammoth. Yeah.
But the thing about it is, it's all like it's very bro centric.
Yeah.
It's like check out, you can get this. It's got like a picture of a bass on the front of it.
Yeah. Or like a
like a
picture of
skull.
like
It's like a Punisher
What's your-
skull.
a handgun and a knife and a pocket
Yeah,
watch.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it's your EDC.
So I posted like, how do you get like logos? And he's like, oh, you just use. We sell some that have like a big thing of Velcro on the front, and you
Oh,
just
yeah.
Velcro a patch on there.
And it's just like crooked and
Like, what am I going to look like?
lifting
Freaking, like some kid from the freaking 1920s or something.
off. It's Velcro.
What am I going to look like? A poor person?
Oh,
No, dude.
okay,
You've got
Phil. I have
one
a
hat
question.
with
I have a question for
a
you. You
limitless
would be an
amount of
expert.
logos.
You're an expert on this. If someone
Navy
goes,
SEALs go.
Yes, if someone does like a quote unquote Navy SEALs boot camp workout, is that stolen valor?
Depends.
Are they stealing valor? Well, I guess it depends on if the person leading the workout is a Navy SEAL or not. Because if you're like, I'm going to work out and this Navy SEAL is training me,
I'm going to
versus,
pretend that this is a
versus
very
some guy
serious
who's
question,
like-
and I'm going to answer it seriously.
okay, let me give you two scenarios. First scenario is a Navy SEAL hosts a workout, you go to the workout. The second scenario is some random guys like joined my Navy SEAL boot camp workout, and you do. Is either of
Oh,
them
I see what you're
stolen
saying. Okay. Well, the first one, it seems like no. Right?
valor? Okay, yeah, I
Because
would agree.
like, it would be really funny though if he's like,
It's
I'm a
not
Navy
like you're
SEAL.
saying
Come-
I'm a Navy SEAL because I did this workout or something.
yeah.
But it would be funny if he was like, I'm a Navy SEAL, come to my workout, and then every guy that goes to the workout that's not a Navy SEAL, he like punches them and attacks them for
Don't try to
not
steal
being
my
Navy
valor.
SEAls.
Just shames them.
Yeah. Yeah,
It clearly
That would be
says
funny.
Navy SEAL workout.
and a horrible.
Why are
business
you
model.
here? I like the idea of somebody like pretending to be a Navy SEAL. So that's the real stolen valor, is running the class if you're not a Navy SEAL.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. They're not even pretending though. They're just
That's
they
what
just
he's
call
talking
it
about.
that.
Yeah.
They don't.
Yeah,
not
but I'm saying like,
I'm a Navy
somebody
SEAL.
lies about being a Navy SEAL and runs a Navy
heck
SEAL
yeah.
workout. Like,
I'm into that.
that's like that Donovan McNabb thing on Always Sunny. Remember that?
Yes.
It makes me think of Rex Kwon Do.
They had on their podcast, they were talking about the actor and like
That played Donovan McNabb. Go, because he pretends to be Tiger Woods in another episode.
not the one that played him, but the one that was like
Yeah.
the
The one-
leading the thing.
Yeah,
Who
yeah.
introduced the guy that introduced him. And in the episode, he doesn't call him Donovan McNabb. He calls him like he like mispronounces it somehow.
On accident?
In the episode, it makes it sound like it's intentional.
Yeah.
But they said it's because this dude could not say Donovan McNabb. Kept saying it wrong.
Dude, that's so good. Isn't it the same? Is it the same guy from Elf?
Yeah, it is.
Like 6-inch ribbon curls.
That dude is funny.
Yeah, he cracks me up.
Donovan McNabb.
Do you guys prefer the Always Sunny podcast or This Is Important?
This is important.
I think This Is Important is funnier, maybe.
Yeah.
But I prefer the Always Sunny one.
I feel like the Always Sunny guys, and I know this is like a stupid, like they became successful, right? But sometimes they're a little too far up their own butts, right?
Yeah, so they're very much like we're actors
Like,
and filmmakers who
yeah,
made
they're
this
artists.
funny show. Yeah, and the other guys are like weird four jackasses who
Exactly.
got lucky and made a show.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very
Which is
different
like,
perspective. But,
but they're right. The Always Sunny guys are right. Like they're amazing
yeah,
at what they do, But yeah,
and
I
it
don't
is
know.
funny because the Workaholics guys, their characters, I mean, they're like exaggerated, but it's very much them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Always Sunny, it's like they're definitely playing characters, so it's like a very different kind of
Like
breakdown.
highly satirical. Like they're playing the opposite of themselves in many ways,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the Workaholics guys, like, there's some things where it's like, there's sometimes where I'm like, oh crap, they're not playing it up that much.
Yeah.
Like,
No, they're
in one of the
crazy
more-
Like they're
people.
playing up how dumb they are, right? Like that's obvious. They're all
Yeah.
very smart
Yeah,
guys,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
But yeah,
well,
But
yeah,
they're also
okay, so
crazy, like,
because like
Lunatics.
Adam this was just on the podcast a couple weeks ago. Like, he thought he was dying. He thought he was having a stroke, and they've been saying like, dude, you can't drink as much as you drink, and then like he'll
Not
chug
have
like
problems.
he'll chug a bunch of coffee in the mornings, and then he's got some weird, I can't read. He calls he's got like a name like sleepy juice or something.
It has night
There's-
juice.
Night juice. There's something that he takes like every freaking night. That's
Yeah.
like, they're like, dude, you can't do that. And it's like every day he's chugging a bunch of like Red Bulls and coffee in the morning.
He's like taking
then-
uppers in the morning and downers at night.
Yes. And then drinking like a fish all the time. And they're like, you seriously,
dude.
you can't do that. And then he's like, so then the other day he's like, I thought I was having a stroke. And they're like, dude, you like, that's not okay. And he goes, oh, I know. Like I had to go, like I went to the doctor, and like, I was like, I'm going to drive myself. And they're like, no, we need to call the paramedics. Like, you need somebody to drive you over. Like, it was like this weird, I was like, this sounds like a bit, but it's not a bit. Like,
Yeah.
this is him really talking about this.
it is
Yeah.
very like they also like, it's the same way I feel like when I listen to Analyze Fish or other like stuff that Harris Whittles is on, like they completely normalize drug use, but like pretty extreme drug use, right? And maybe
Yeah.
it's not
Yes.
that extreme to everybody, but like it's
It's like, okay, weed all the
like,
time.
you absolutely
and then
need to do LSD,
they're not like, I don't think they don't really they kind of all
They were just
have
talking
it.
about
It's
it on the last episode I listened to, which
that
is
they
like,
all have
I'm
done
not saying like
LSD?
whatever, like, you know, do whatever you want, but it is like a little bit shocking because that's like, I'm not exposed to that culture at all, right? Where like
Right.
drugs are like celebrated, really, you know,
Yeah,
because like a
right.
lot of
But it's weird.
drug addicts are like, I'm addicted to this thing that I don't want to be addicted to, and it sucks, right? But then there's some
Right,
people that are
but
just like, drugs are great and you should do them all, you know?
But no. See, that's the thing is like
Drugs
in
are
any
good. Remember
whatever
that song?
any group,
Yes.
this is like it goes like this. This is what we all do. Like we do XYZ
Mm-hmm.
and we, talk about it and it's normalized. And then there's the ones that we rarely do. And then when we talk about those, we're like, oh yeah. Oh man. Ooh,
It's like
ugh.
hush hush kind of.
And then there's the ones that we don't do, and we're like, oh my gosh, yeah, freaking cocaine, no way. So like,
And that's how
they talk about,
fentanyl
like,
is. That's how fentanyl is for like the worst drug addicts are like, I don't go near fentanyl because that stuff jacks you up, you know. I'll do
Yeah.
crack
right.
all day, but
Well, people die. Yeah.
like,
I mean, people
I
literally
feel like
die.
most people don't want to do fentanyl, and it's like they get it accidentally.
yeah,
I'm
that's
Right?
like,
That's the thing,
so
right?
confused.
yes, very
about
much
fentanyl.
so. It's,
Like,
I only know
who
from
is
like,
It's like cut into other drugs.
everybody on soft white underbelly, I feel like, or like so many drug addicts on there, once they're addicted to fentanyl, it just like ruins them. And the ones that aren't, they literally will be like, there's like a literal, like, you know, these crack addicts who were like, no way
It's
I'd ever
50
touch
to 100 times
fentanyl.
more potent than morphine.
Yeah.
That's tight.
And yeah, people lace it into other drugs partially as just like it's a real, like, it's very predatory, right?
Yeah, maybe. And I think part of it is like it's so powerful that you can like add a little bit and it's extra, it's like super strong maybe, but that also makes it like very easy to overdose.
if I'm
Like-
Walter White, if I'm a drug dealer, if I'm a drug maker, like I don't understand. Like, this is like, is it cheaper than anything else to produce? Is that the thing? Like, what?
Well, I think
It's just
people
highly-
are dying,
it's
like,
insanely addictive.
I think it's cheap to get in because I see a lot of things like around here about like it coming from Mexico, like people smuggling it in from Mexico because I think it's cheap and relatively accessible there. So like I think if people can bring it over and then I think it's probably cheaper than like cocaine to get, maybe, I don't know. But I mean it's not the same as cocaine. It's like the opposite,
But that's like it's also like part of why it's very widespread is because it's a legal drug. Like it's a prescription. I mean, well, I don't know that fentanyl specifically is.
it's
I'm pretty
controlled,
sure
but
it is.
it's not like
It's an
yeah,
opioid, right?
yeah,
But it's
yeah.
like
it's used
it's
in
controlled.
medical settings, yeah.
So it can like start like nobody else is going to a doctor and they're like, "Hey, take cocaine for
Here's a little bit of
3
heroin
months
for you.
and then stop."
Yeah,
You know.
yeah. Yes,
So yeah, it's pretty nuts.
that is true. Yeah, I've known people who are addicted to all kinds of drugs, not like every kind of drug, but
Uh huh.
like the ones who are addicted to painkillers is like it's like a whole other level of like insidious because it is like they'll have like back problems and so they're like, well, I have to go to the doctor for my back, and then they give them like medication and
Yeah.
they're like, okay, now I'm hooked on painkiller pills again. It's
Like it's hard to get off of other drugs because withdrawal symptoms are also very gnarly.
yeah.
But like
Right.
you don't have
It's
to
a lot easier to get
you don't
back
have
on
to
and-
take you don't have to get addicted to fentanyl first to need it, right? All you have to do is have a back issue or whatever,
Yeah.
you know. So yeah, it's pretty, and
Rough.
it's pretty sad that like, you know, pharmaceutical companies just make a whole lot of money on it.
Yeah, I started watching that show Dope Sick on Hulu, but I never finished it. But it's basically about like the pharmaceutical companies in this small town like pushing this certain drug to the doctors and stuff, and like, oh, prescribe this because it's this and this and this, and then but they didn't tell them that it was like super highly addictive.
Jeez.
Yeah,
It's a true story, but I can't remember like what
Yes.
the specific drug was. But
Yeah.
it might even be fentanyl.
No, it was
It's another one.
it was
It's an
the other
opioid
one
though.
that like
Yeah, like
Everybody's-
Oxy.
yes.
It's Oxy. I think.
Oxycontin or
Yeah.
whatever.
yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because it's set in like the 80s or 90s or whatever. Yeah, Oxy. Crazy. Although
It's like
I,
House. Remember that show?
dude, I could see like how easy it is because when I had my leg surgery, they gave me like Percocet, and that stuff was like
Dope.
it like took the edge off, like for real.
It took the edge off of life.
I'm like,
right?
I could see how if I had an addictive personality, like this could really.
Yeah, dude.
mess
I'd
me up.
be. Dude, I literally, because I've been prescribed drugs like that, and I just don't take them because I have
Yeah.
pretty serious back problems, and I'm
Yeah.
just so afraid because, like, having a food addiction is enough.
Yeah, I
I
was
mean-
like, I was. It's dumb, maybe, but I was like, I'm gonna leave a pill in the bottle and like not take it just to prove to myself that like that I'm not addicted, that I
Dude,
don't
that's
have
like-
to take this medicine.
I love that. That's like that sounds like such an addict behavior, right?
It kind of does,
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah, but it's
Even
true,
though
it's
not
like,
taking it, like
Yeah.
in some ways, shows that you're not addicted. But that is like totally the type of thing. Like, see, that proves I'm not an addict
it
because I
proves
left
it.
that one pill
I have one.
unequivocally.
But I never went back. It's still in a bottle somewhere. Probably some Fisher.
Oh yeah,
something
probably
on it.
some freaking teenager found it and took it, and now they're
Yeah, dude.
addicted to drugs.
I could
Good
have
one,
taken
Aaron.
that bullet for him, but I didn't. I passed it on. Oh, dude, did you see this? There's like some controversy on TikTok about like the guy who's like, "Would you like $2 or should I double it and pass it to the next person?"
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
some dude posted, he's like, I took the 16 and he didn't give it to me, and he's like, I don't have the money. And then the other dude was like, it's not true, like you're editing it, and he's like, no, here's the full video. And it's like so
Dude.
stupid. And then there's another one where some girl was like,
Yeah.
dude, with the cookies, did you see that one?
Yes.
That's crazy. She's like, do you want 8 cookies or should I double it and give it to the next person? She's like I'll take it. And then she like fat
The whole
shamed her.
video is edited in a way to make her seem like, oh, look at this fat girl who wants all these cookies,
Yeah.
basically, right?
And then she's like, she posts, and then she's like, she was like calling her out. She's like, this girl came up to me and she's like, I'm gonna ask you a question and like just say yes.
No, I thought
Is
she
that
said it was her
okay?
friend or something, or
No,
like
she said
she
her
knew
friend
her.
was with her.
Oh,
So she's
okay.
like, I have a witness, basically, is what she's saying.
yeah, yeah.
And then I guess the original video got taken down, but
Dude, I
that's
kind of hate.
terrible.
I kind of hate it. It reeks of like the. Well, first of all, it's like you're shaming somebody for taking
I'm
money.
like, I would take 8 cookies.
Yeah, like I'll take
Like, yeah,
whatever,
give me
right?
The cookies. Give me the
Yeah.
$16. I don't care.
But it also reminds me of just like, I don't know, like this aggressive generosity. I'm like so conflicted.
Yeah, where
on
they're
it.
like, they find a homeless person and they're like, I'm gonna
Yeah,
give you
and they're like-
$10,000 cash,
up in their face with a camera, like, look
Yeah.
at this cool thing we're doing.
and they're like, look, he's crying.
yeah,
He's so happy. Look at this idiot, this poor idiot.
look at this
He's
poor
like,
person.
He's
Can't even
overwhelmed.
control his
by
emotions.
I gave him $1,000 and it
idiot.
changed his life. This poor piece of trash. That's the vibe I always get from it, at least. And it's like, look
Oh
how
yeah,
good
totally.
I am. $1,000 is nothing to me, but it changes this whole person's whole life.
And also, like, the plan is that I'm going to make much more than that just from the ads on this video.
yeah.
Right. Oh, yeah.
I
Yeah,
hate
hopefully.
anything that's like social experiment is just so manipulative and awful to me.
Totally.
Man, I'm getting turned in anger at this.
Yeah, dude, we're getting worked up
The,
today.
I'm not about that.
The
Not
That
me getting angry.
dude wearing that
Did I
dude
do it
wearing
right?
the Lowe's wearing the Lowe's vest
Yeah.
That guy's funny.
was making me, dude, it was making me laugh so hard because like the way that he
Is it the one
he
where
messes
he like
with people.
where he like the dude's filming him and then he's like pretending that he works there all of a sudden. He's like,
Yes.
it's like, who in the hell?
Or are you
he
filming?
says,
What the hell?
so he's like, he looks like he's early 20s, and then then he's being confronted by a dude who's like, in his late 50s,
Yeah.
and the guy's like, I'm gonna need you to take that vest off right now. And he goes,
Oh yeah.
he goes, I can't do that, sir. He goes, this is mine. And he goes, no, it's not. Let me see your ID. And he goes, well, I don't. He goes like this. He goes, well, and then he grabs the vest and he goes, this vest is my ID. And he goes, no. And he goes, no. He goes, you just took that. And he goes, well, let me see. How do I know that you didn't just take that? And he goes, because I work here. And he goes, I work here too, sir. Like, he just kept everything he was saying was like calm, and like he was like, it was like disagreeing with what the other guy said, but it was calm, and the guy was getting super pissed. And I don't know why it made me laugh so hard, but
and I don't want to be just like a total downer. The same, like, it's the same as like the First Amendment people, but
Yeah.
I feel differently about it, because I feel like cops are a gang, and they need to be held accountable. But like this dude that works at Lowe's, like, you're obviously trying to get a rise out of him.
Maybe $13 an hour, and
like who's the victim in this scenario, right?
You're just like,
right,
yeah.
but like, to me,
granted, it's weird to be like, that vest, because it has a Lowe's patch on it, is our property. Like, obviously that's stupid, right?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
well, okay, but like, here's how I see it. If I work at Lowe's and this kid is like clearly trying to get like, oh, okay, he's recording, he's trying to make me look stupid, or what he's trying to do is he's trying to make content and make anybody look stupid, right? So like, the second you realize that, like, why are you still like, just walk away and call the cops. But instead,
but like, if we all reacted rationally, like, the world would be a very different place, right? Like,
yeah, that's true.
If you're at the end of a long shift at Lowe's,
you're also like, you kind of assume that like most people are people you can like reasonably talk to and be like, dude, you can't
like
film
the people
here.
Instigating these are like acting like sociopaths.
Exactly.
Like, you start off by saying, oh, you can't film here, and they're like, oh, and then pretend they work there, and it's like, well, how do you react to a crazy person,
When he says, he goes, how do I know you work here? And he goes, because I do work here. And then the woman standing next to him goes, he does work here. Like, why are they trying to reason with this person who is like you said, he's either crazy or he's
he's acting like a 2-year-old. Like, he's not operating under normal rules. So like, you should treat him like that,
Yeah, but like, sometimes 2-year-olds are infuriating also. It's like,
yeah, totally. That's what I'm saying.
Like, the whole thing is designed to provoke someone, so you can't like fault them for being provoked.
It's the same thing as punked, right? Yeah. Like, oh, look at this guy. He's crying because we told him his mom died. What an idiot. Like, well, he thought his mom died. Like, how should he react?
When in a different one by the same guys, the woman comes in like really hot, and she's like, put the camera down now, like that. And then the guy is holding, he's like holding a spray
an
can
air
or
horn
something. And he goes this, and he puts it down. And she's like, what? No.
She's like, that's not a camera. He's like, is it okay if I pick it up? He's like, can I pick it up now? Is that a camera? He's like, I think it is.
Yeah, he's like, then he's making her fight about whether
he's so mad
whether it's a camera.
Yeah.
So here's a question:
gosh.
Which specific types of those videos? Because this is obviously a genre. It's it's a very widespread genre. Which ones do you actually support?
The best one is when that dude sang the Island Boy. And that dude tried to find him.
I don't know.
It's like,
yeah, dude.
It's like outside of like some store, and
so he found the Island Boys.
No, the Island Boys aren't in the video.
Oh,
it's like some normal dude walking out with
he's
a,
calling.
with like a 12-pack, and he just starts singing
Okay.
the song, and the dude gets so mad, like irrationally.
Or like the
angry.
guy,
Okay,
the Red
see, that's
Sox
great.
fan, when he's like, "Hey, who's the
funny.
best looking guy in the Red Sox? The hottest guy?" He's like, "What, you think I'm gay or something?"
Why would you even ask
Yeah.
me that? Don't ask.
He's
don't
seriously
even ask
like-
me that.
The most Boston, like stereotypical Boston toxic masculinity
And
guy
then he's like,
ever,
now all
you
I
know?
can think
Yes.
about is sucking dick.
Yeah,
like, well, that's
that one is very good. That one is very
Okay,
good.
one of them.
another one.
I obviously support the ones that are provoking police officers because they are evil.
Yeah.
But not not all of them. Let's support the blue. We bleed blue here. But the cart narc is also.
that-
I was
very
just gonna
funny.
say that one.
because anyone who
Yes.
doesn't put their cart back is an inherently bad person.
Because it's also like these people would rather fight this guy than like
Yeah.
admit that they should just put their cart back. They're like,
'Cause
I'm
that's the-
not putting my cart
And
back.
again, like I can relate to not reacting rationally to that person because I don't think I would either. But that's the rational response. Like, oh yeah, you're right. That was dumb. Let me go. Like, you got me right. Like,
No,
they get mad because he throws
the-
magnets on their car too. It's like, dude.
Yes, yes.
it's so great.
So here's the thing.
And I love
The-
that he like doesn't
The correct
swear at them.
response. Right. He never swears. He never threatens
very
them.
calm.
He calls them.
Makes little
and he calls them
snarky-
Like,
things
you're
like.
being
like
you're being
clever-
kind of a jerk right now.
yeah,
Yeah, he goes.
Clever
He goes.
little
You're being a
comments.
silly goose.
yeah.
The correct response to that guy finding you, and telling you, "Hey, put your cart back," is no thanks, and then getting in your car and driving away.
yeah.
with
That's
his
the
magnet on your
other.
car.
Yeah, because like, why
And-
do I care what
and
this
you
guy
know what?
thinks about
Yeah,
me?
you can take the magnet off later.
I'm sure that happens all the time.
Yeah,
Of
and they don't.
course, yeah.
They
I'm sure
don't
it happens
post
all
it.
the time, and it doesn't make it on the show because it's like, why would
Yeah.
that boring?
It's the same
one
reason,
in
like-
100 where they lose their
Yeah.
freaking minds.
It's just like how 95% of people know where Canada is, and the 5 people that don't, they post those and be like, "Look
Right.
how stupid Americans are," you know.
Yeah.
Right. Or American Idol, right? It's like literally at
Yes.
every spot, thousands and thousands
Yeah.
of people try out.
Most of
We
them
don't
are
care
fine.
about most of them.
Yeah.
They're fine.
Yeah.
Most of them
but
are
not
like,
good
yeah,
enough.
you're a pretty
They're
good
just like
that's
singer.
decent
boring.
singers.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think the best reaction to the cart narc would be to get out and be like, "Oh man, you're the cart narc. I love your stuff." And like ask for a selfie with them and stuff.
Yeah,
But
totally.
still don't put your cart back. Be like, "Oh man, I love keep
Can you
doing
sign
what you're
this
doing.
magnet?"
You're doing awesome stuff. Keep it up," and then just like
I
drive
can't
away in
believe
your
these
cart.
people out here.
Oh, they're the worst. These selfish jerks not putting their carts back.
These silly geese.
Just flip it on them, you know?
Yeah, dude.
Silly geese.
Silly gooses. Silly geese, goose. Silly goose, geese. Oh, man. That's good stuff.
This
TikTok
is
is wild, by the way. Everyone, I'm like, there's so many videos that are like, yeah, this is whatever, boring. And then something just completely insane will pop up and you're like,
yeah.
what is this? Like, I saw this one today and it's like playing Walk the Line, the Johnny Cash song, but like a really slow version. And it's like putting text up on, it's like, the son texts the dad and he's like, I drank too much and I'm at a bonfire. Can you pick me up? So the guy like walks up and gets his keys and it's like slowly walking to the garage and like getting into the truck. And then he gets another text and he's like, some guy showed up and they're trying to fight me. And then the dad puts the keys down and like goes outside and picks up keys to a different truck. And then he like gets in the other truck and like that's the whole video.
Yeah. Like, this
What
is
is
my
that?
fighting
What does
truck.
it mean? Oh, I
It
guess.
started,
yeah.
I think it started
It's
as a
so
trend of
weird.
like, oh, somebody just pulled up in a 66 Camaro or whatever.
Yeah.
And so it's like, well, I'm going to go get my Mustang or I don't know.
So
It's a weird-
I
it-
saw one that was like 10 iterations down the line, probably.
Yeah, exactly. TikTok is very much like if you give an infinite number of monkeys an infinite number of typewriters
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they'll write Shakespeare. Like, there's so much nonsense, and I like some of it is like
Some of it is
probably
amazing.
generated by AI, right? A lot of the
Yeah,
comments are
potentially,
certainly,
yeah.
and it's but it is weird, like just like it happened just now with that, like when because everybody is so quick to just do ironic takes on trends that when you
Yeah.
first see one, like you're saying, that's so many iterations down the line, it's like,
Yeah.
I'm not even going to try to
What does
understand this
mean?
thing.
And then you also get like you'll have 100, like 1,000 people doing the exact same thing, like in the exact same way, like acting
Yeah.
like it's an original idea.
Mhm.
And then people in the
I
comments
copy
yelling
this.
at him to give credit, which is like,
Give credit
on one
to
hand,
who?
yes, especially
Yeah.
if you're like using someone's actual sound and you stole it or whatever. But a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah.
times it's like, there's no way of knowing who's the first person to do this, because
Also,
likely
like,
it's
where
a
do you draw the
video
line
with like
between
10
like
likes.
this is a trend or this is, like,
Totally.
is this a trend or are you stealing someone's?
Or are you
content?
stealing the idea? Yeah.
And if you're not making money off of it, does it matter if you steal it? Like, I don't know.
I wonder
TikTok?
how
TikTok's
much
weird.
people.
I think it does.
I think it depends on what it is, though.
Yeah.
If someone's like
I think
reacting, so the one I keep seeing, I've seen a bunch in the last couple of days, is like, it's like a mom, and she'll say like, me trying to gentle parent, and then she's like, and then the sound goes, here, be careful, the bottom is hot, and then the kid tries to take the pan from the bottom, and she's like, oh, careful, the bottom is hot, and then she yells, the bottom is hot, and then I've seen so many versions of that, the exact same thing, but it's like, does it really matter if you copy that? Like, what is that doing? I don't know. It's
Weird.
So
It
there's
is annoying
there's
when
one,
it's like a very well-known creator that just like steals everyone's ideas and passes them off as their own, right?
Yeah, that's true. It's like if you're Dane
So there's-
Cook, then that's bad.
Yeah.
So there's
Also, I heard he
like,
steals jokes.
the
Hey-o.
feature.
Phil, say what he's saying.
One of the features in TikTok is the idea of like using somebody's audio and then like,
Yeah,
so you're literally doing their bit, but like the audio should be able to be traced back to the person that you are borrowing from, which
Yes.
But it's very
then
obvious when they don't. Like they
which-
just
which
take
then
the
it's
audio
like-
and start their new chain, basically.
right, but like even then when it's like it's and I don't use TikTok, I don't create anything on TikTok, but like if you're clicking one button to use the audio where their name is on it, the name of the creator of the audio is on it, or you're clicking another button that just doesn't do that and you're still copying their audio, that just seems like lame and like a shady way to do it.
I mean,
But-
there are
Yeah.
some videos that like don't like that aren't set up to be used as a sound or
Yes.
that don't have duets turned on or whatever.
But then what's worse is when somebody listens to somebody else's bit and then instead of using the audio, they like
make their own version of
But-
it.
they write down that like literal
Yeah,
script
yeah.
word for word and then they say it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and that's like, okay, you went out of your way to like
Yeah.
Avoid
attempt-
doing the
which
right
is
thing.
very
yeah,
lame.
to make it seem like, yeah, totally. And I
Well,
like,
and it's lame when it's like a person with an enormous following. When it's somebody with
Yeah.
10 million followers doing it and passing it off
Yes.
as their own idea, you know?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
if I stole someone's idea on TikTok,
Yeah.
no one
Like
would
nobody cares.
see it. It wouldn't matter, but like
Yeah.
it wouldn't hurt anything. But if a famous TikToker stole my TikTok, then that'd be like, okay, that's kind
That
of
would be
messed up.
lame. TikTok is sort of like breaking. So I'm listening. Have you guys listened to Ender's Game, or have you guys read Ender's Game before, or
No.
listened to it?
I'm familiar with
I
the
mean,
story, but
I-
I've never.
yeah, same.
The sequel to it, and it's like way in the future, but they've been doing a lot of travel near the speed of light, so they're time slows for them. So it's all this, but he has like this AI that's basically just been generating itself over thousands of years. And I feel like that's the same thing that TikTok is doing. It's just like turning into this enormous, like we're all, I don't know, losing our personalities and our ability to think
Yeah,
independently or whatever, and just all getting sucked into this big monster.
yeah. I also feel like I have no idea. Like this is an extreme.
It's like fentanyl. TikTok is the
it's like,
fentanyl.
I don't know what
and-
the real world is like. Like I don't know what actual 20-year-olds talk like. I only know what 20-year-olds on
Yeah.
TikTok talk like.
But it's
like
it's also so, it really
What
is
are
like
real
fentanyl.
young people like. Well, that's true too. Yeah,
Like Twitter,
Very addicting.
Twitter was like, what? I don't know.
Twitter was like morphine.
Morphine, yeah.
And
you
then and then like Facebook is like Oxy, and then TikTok is fentanyl.
Yeah, is there a drug that makes you like a lot stupider? Because that's Facebook.
TikTok's also weird because it's like the whole like the music industry aspect of TikTok really freaks me out. It's like super weird, where people are like, you have to be on TikTok, and like that's how, like that's the landscape of the music industry in a lot of people's minds. It's like
I just saw Lisa Loeb
yeah
post a cover of the Korn song.
The Korn song, I just saw that too.
It sucked.
Yeah,
it was terrible.
yeah.
Like it's like
It
she
was
had never
very
listened
bad.
to the song, and it was like somebody told her on a in an email that she had to do this.
yeah. But I
The
guess
other
it's
thing
like
that
how
bugs me-
Bieber was on YouTube. It's like now people are on TikTok.
The other thing
Yeah.
that bugs me about celebrities jumping onto TikTok is when they make jokes about like, is this how I talk,
Yeah.
Tick? And like,
Yeah.
don't.
It's exactly
do
like
that.
when you talk
Just-
about sports ball, Phil.
Yep.
It's literally the
you're
exact
here.
same thing.
I don't do this. No, you know what? I'm sick of this.
Or
I
when
don't
some
do it.
people do
You
it.
guys say that I do it. You guys say that I do it, and you make fun of me doing it way more than I actually do it. I don't make
So
sports
it's like
ball jokes.
when some people talk about sports ball. How's that?
Thank you. Yes.
We like sports,
Better.
and we don't care who knows it.
Throw me the. What does he say?
I don't remember, but it's very funny.
It is very funny.
But I agree. Like it's like okay, it's like you're trying to be like it's just very forced and fake. It's like okay, your publicist wrote the script for you or like whatever.
Right.
Pretend
Right.
like you don't know what you're doing, so then they'll think that it's like natural.
Those are the dumb ones. If they're just like, hey, my label said I have to be on TikTok, so here I am on TikTok.
Yeah.
That's at least sincere, right?
Yeah.
Which
I don't think it's effective.
I saw one from I think it was Fleetwood Mac. It was like a couple of them, and they were like it was funny because maybe it was ABBA. It seemed very genuine. It was like, so we heard that our song is really popular on this app, so we're here now. Like,
Oh yeah, that's funny.
just like, yes, do that. Please do that. Just be honest.
The thing
We've
about
been
it
told
is,
that-
like, we've been told we're popular.
We've been told
now.
that this is popular and that something that we created is making, is creating more revenue
yeah
here all of a sudden. And
It's
so
just-
we were told we have to be here now.
It's just really frustrating when like everything feels contrived and fake. Like I saw this article about so you know how there's like the Mexican pizza, right, at Taco Bell. Pizza Hut came out with this thing and they're like, it's the Italian taco. And they're like
No way.
like making fun of pizza, making fun of Taco Bell, and they're like, "Yeah, it's Italian taco. All you do is like fold your slice in half, and it's like you can get it anytime." And
Oh,
then you're like,
that's dumb.
"Oh yeah, that's kind of funny, like I guess." But then it's like, "Oh yeah, by the way, Pizza Hut and Taco Bell are owned by the same company." It's like, so it's like there's not. It's all like in house. It's like,
Yeah.
look at this goofy controversy. Oh, by the way, it's the same people doing both sides of it. It's all theater. It's awful. The world.
The only
is
ones
fake.
like you can kind of tell you can kind of tell the ones that are sincere, right?
yeah.
I feel like it. Yeah.
Like Post Malone.
Like Jack Black is very famous, but his TikTok is just funny.
Yeah.
Well,
Like he
okay. So like recently, like it seems like, have you guys seen Kevin Bacon's TikToks?
I've seen a couple. I saw him doing the Korn
They're-
song too. But
They're boring, but it's like,
yeah.
he's like, oh, this is an app where I just make short videos. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
could do that. And he's not doing anything innovative. It's just he's like a creative guy, and so
Yeah.
he's like, all right, I'll be creative on this app. And I feel like it he's not like promoting anything. He's not, you know what I mean? He's
Right.
just I feel like that's the way to do it if you're just an old guy who's like, I'm a celebrity, and I'm sure his kids are like, hey, Dad, you should be on this app, and he's like, what would I do? And they're like, just play music, do whatever. And he's like,
Yeah.
okay, I could do that.
Like, I have no problem with the notion of a famous person being on TikTok, but it's like when it's so obviously just an ad for their brand, it's like
Yeah.
their personal brand, like who they are as a brand. It's obnoxious. See right through it. I like Kevin
Yeah.
Bacon. I like regular bacon.
I do too.
Also,
I like.
It sounded like you're saying
Bofa.
you like doing like Kevin Bacon. I like to Kev Bacon. I like Kevin Bacon.
I like Kevin Bacon. No, I just talk funny. I like having bacon.
Oh,
I like Kevin Bacon.
I like Kevin Bacon.
I like Kevin Bacon. That is dumb.
This is
Very dumb.
This is French.
This is actually a good time for me to bring up Woodstock '99 and why I got very angry at one point.
Should we save it for the next episode, or is it really related? You can talk. You can say it. That's
It's
fine.
really related, and
I'm
we
good.
can wait till a whole week or
Yeah,
two.
you can say it now. You can say it now. I'm sorry. I'll cut this out.
No.
All right. I'm sorry for
Say
stealing your
it.
valor just now.
You didn't steal my valor.
I stole your thunder, I guess. All right.
Nope,
I
you
let
didn't
the
steal
wind
that
out
either.
of your. I let the wind out of your sails.
Nope, you didn't do that.
What did I do?
Nothing.
All right. As per usual, I did nothing. Guys, I think this episode is our best yet.
Really?
And I also think the best is yet to come. So don't think of it as the best episode yet. Think of it as the worst episode of the rest.
So
of your life.
far.
So far.
Oh.
Oh, man. And thanks for friendship.
Thanks for friendship.
Thanks for friendship.
And a woman. A man and a woman.
Ugh, yeah, good call. Don't want to get canceled. Smile.